Challenge number 14, containers, DoorDasher's Demise. Let's see what this is about. The two usual videos from two creators. Task number 1, introduction. It seemed as the sun rose this morning, it was already been decided that today would be another day of chaos in Werewell. At least that's the feeling all the folks at DoorDasher got. DoorDasher is Werewell's local food delivery site, a favorite of the workers in the best festival company, especially on long days when they go home from work and just can't bring themselves to make dinner. We've all been there, I'm sure. Well, one Werewell resident was feeling particularly tired this morning, and so decided to order breakfast, only to find King Malware and his bandit bunnies battalion had seized control of yet another festive favorite. DoorDasher had been completely rebranded as Hopperro. All of the wearers' favorite dashes have been changed as well. Reports started flooding into the DoorDasher's call center, and not just from customers. The Healthy and Safety Food Organization was on the line too, utterly panicked. Apparently, multiple Werewell residents were choking on what turned out to be fragments of Santa's bread. Werewell's authorities were left tangled in confusion today as Hopperro faced mounting backlash over reports of culinary impersonation. Customers across the region claim to have been served what appears to be authentic strands of Santa's beard in place of traditional noodles. Oh my god. A spokesperson for the Healthy and Safety Food Bureau confirmed that several dinners required gentle untangling, and one incident involved a customer achieving accidental facial hair synchronization. Breaking news: DoorDasher Beardgate. Immediately, one of the security engineers managed to log on and make a script that would restore DoorDashers to its original state, but just before he was able to run it, Sir Carrot Bane could wind of his attempt and locked him out of the system. All was lost until the SOC team realized they still had access to the system via their monitoring pod, an uptime checker for the site. Your job? As a SOC team member of DoorDasher, you can escape the container and escalate your privileges so you can finish what your team started and save the site. Learning objectives. Learn how containers and Docker work, including images, layers, and the container engine. Explore Docker runtime concepts, socket, daemon API, and common container escape privilege escalation vectors. Apply these skills to investigate image layers, escape a container, escalate privileges, and restore the DoorDasher service. Do not order Santa beard paste. Santa's beard paste! All the Italians would be insulted by this. Connecting to the machine. Before moving forward, review the questions in the connection card shown below. We have to start the attack box, we have to start the vulnerable machine. And also you have, this is funny that they say that you also have a split view screen. Obviously we have one. Note, it's recommended to open both machines in full screen view using the small icon on the far left in the screenshot below. Otherwise you might get kicked out of the Docker container when switching tabs in split view. If you still prefer to use split view, you can switch between the target machine and the attack box using the button tabs here. Here is the full screen and here are the tabs. Answer the questions below. Tell me more. Check. Task number 2, container security. What are containers? To understand what a container is, we first need to understand the problem it fixes. But plainly, modern applications can be quite complex. Installation. Depending on the environment the application is being installed in, is not uncommon to run into configuration quirks, which make the process time-consuming and frustrating. Troubleshooting. When an application stops working, a lot of time can be wasted determining if it is a problem with the application itself or a problem with the environment it is running in. Conflicts. Sometimes multiple versions of an application need to be run, or perhaps multiple applications which need, for example, different versions of Python to be installed. This can sometimes lead to conflicts, complicating the process further. If reading these problems, your brain conjured up the word isolation as a solution, well, you're onto the right track. Containers solve these problems by packing applications along with their dependencies into one isolated environment. This package is known as a container. In addition to solving all the above problems, containers also offer further benefits. One key benefit is how lightweight they are. To understand this, we will now take a brief look at container architecture. Container versus virtual machine. To illustrate container architecture, let's examine another form of virtualization, virtual machines. Virtual machines like ones you have been booting up this platform throughout advent of cyber. Here we see in a very cool and simple illustration from TryHackMe. To the left we have a virtual machine. To the right we have a container. We have an infrastructure on the virtual machine, obviously. We have the hypervisor, and then we have the applications. But in the container, the infrastructure, the operating system, and the container engine, where all the apps are packaged. Right? So basically here in the machine virtualization, we have the infrastructure, the kernel, let's say, the things that run automatically. The hypervisor is the virtual machine in itself, and then we have the applications that run on that virtual environment. On the containers, obviously, again, we have the infrastructure, the things that are automatically running. We have an operating system, and then the container engine, and where then we have the applications. A virtual machine runs on a hypervisor, software that emulates and manages multiple operating systems in one physical host. It includes a full guest OS, making it heavy but fully isolated. Containers share the host OS kernel, isolating only applications and their dependencies, which make them lightweight and fast to start. Virtual machines are ideal for running multiple different operating systems or legacy applications, while containers excel at deploying scalable, portable microservices. Applications at scale. Microservices are a switch in the style of application architecture, where before it was a lot more common to deploy apps in a monolithic fashion, built as a single unit, a single code base, usually as a single executable. More and more companies are choosing to break down their applications to parts based on business functions. This way, it has a specific part of their application receiving high traffic loads. They can scale that part without having to scale the entire application. This is where the lightweight nature of containers come into play, making them incredibly easy to scale to meet increasing demands. They become the go-to choice for this increasingly popular architecture, and this is why over the last 10 years you have started seeing the term more and more. You may have noticed the layer-labeled container engine in the diagram. A container engine is software that builds, runs, and manages containers by leveraging the whole system's OS, kernel features like namespace and C groups. One example of a container engine is Docker, which we will examine in more detail. Docker is a popular container engine that uses Docker files, simple text scripts defining app environments and dependencies to build, package, and run applications consistently across different systems. Docker is the container engine of choice at DoorDasher, and so is what we will be interacting with in our interactive lab. Docker is an open source platform for developers to build, deploy, and manage containers. Containers are executable units of software which package and manage the software and components to run a service. They are pretty lightweight because they isolate the application and use the host kernel. Escape, attack, and sockets. A container escape is a technique that enables code running inside a container to obtain writes or execute on the host kernel or other containers beyond its isolated environment. Escaping, for example, creating a privileged container which accesses the public internet from a test container with no internet access. Containers use a client server set up on the host. The command line interface tools act as the client, sending requests to the container daemon, which handles the actual container management and execution. The runtime exposes an API server via Unix socket, runtime socket to handle CLI and daemon traffic. If an attacker can communicate with that socket from inside the container, they can exploit the runtime. This is how we would create a privileged container with internet access, as mentioned in the previous example. So our challenge is to investigate the Docker layer and restore the defaced Hopperoo website to its original service, DoorDasher. We are going to walk through the steps to beat this challenge together. We have the access point. Let's open up the split view screen. Okay, now if we say here Docker, yes. Okay, we have 6 minutes of uptime. Right, we see a few services running. We can see basically the same services here. The main service runs at the following: explore the web application, and okay, we go over here. We go over here, we open Firefox, IP of the vulnerable machine, then 142.25 on port 5001. There you go, Hopperoo, and we have to bring back the DoorDasher. Explore the web application and notice the defaced system Hopperoo. We know DoorDasher is a food delivery service. Let's explore uptime checker. Sounds interesting. Now in here we say Docker. You can see the command is right over here. We exec with IT flags and then sh. And then we check the socket list la from variable run docker.sock. Right, and now we have the exact same diagram. The Docker documentation mentions that by default there is a setting called enhanced container isolation, which blocks containers from mounting the Docker socket to prevent malicious access to the Docker engine. In some cases, like when running test containers, they need Docker socket access. The socket provides a means to access containers via the API directly. Let's see if we can. Our output should be something like this. Exactly. I wonder what happens if we try to run Docker command inside the container. By running Docker PS again, we can confirm we can perform Docker commands and interact with the API. In other words, we can perform a Docker escape attack. So if we go again, Docker PS, there you go. We can. Let's instead try to access deployer container, which is a privileged container. Run the following command. Docker exec is the same command, but we choose deployer and then bash. So Docker exec IT flags deployer and then bash. There you go, we have it. The who am I and check which user we are currently logged in as. Explore the container and find the flag. So basically we are deployer. Who am I? Okay, we made it. We have managed to make it to the container where the script to restore the site to its former version. Save the day, run the recovery script in the root. So, okay, so basically we root sudo of recovery.sh. Now, we will not go back yet. With that run, you can see the following. Okay, so basically now we should see when we go back to the page that we have DoorDasher. As a reward, you should be able to find a flag in the same directory as the script, which can read the... Okay, so basically if we say cat and here we say a flag, Docker escape success. TryHackMe Docker escape success. What the exact command list running Docker containers? Docker PS. If we go back to the attack box, we refresh this. There you go, DoorDasher. What file is used to define the instructions for building a Docker image? Docker is a popular container engine that uses Docker files. Simple text scripts defining app environments and dependencies to deploy, package, and run applications consistently across different systems. Bonus question, there is a secret code contained within the new site running at 502. This code also happens to be the password for the deployer user. They should definitely change their password. Can you find it? Deploy master 2025. Master 2025 question mark. Pretty hard one. Like the content, yeah, here we have a room with container vulnerabilities. We will do every room, but let's finish what we started.